different leagues. So I'm really interested to see what Mirio will actually pull off in this game. The Uranus, the Lapu Lapu, both buff, both really strong. So Sebo, do you think the EXP would actually be the point of contention, or it's gonna be more onto Ito versus Aaron the Creator onto the goal lane though?
It actually depends on how the team wants to play because Mirio he is actually strong on his own. He can hold out in the EXP lane himself while his team focuses on the gold lane more. And the same with Aaron as well. With a little bit of support from his team, he just gets that early game snowball. So Armageddon, they would probably want to focus on ganking out Aaron. But then again, if you shift your attention towards Mirio, then their front line for the IGN, which Mirio does carry quite a lot, it might just be hindered as well. So it's kind of a 50-50 situation, just a give and take, right? You choke down the EXP, the gold gets a bit higher chance, or it's kind of the same for the gold as well.
Hmm. Um, currently we can see already the ban phase out here. The heroes actually being taken off. It's gonna be the Matilda, the also the 1-1, if I'm not mistaken, is actually the 1-1 from the
Mm.
side of team Armageddon Esports, and it's gonna be the classic ban from the side of team IGN. They're getting rid of the this Baxia onto the roam slash jungle. Again, another tanky hero being banned. So they're more about the sustainable heroes actually taking off from their side. So it seems like they might want to go for an assassin for respect. What do you think, Debbie?
I think they could easily go for the assassins here as well, but this is a very very tricky kind of meta where you can go for the assassins too, but you can also go for the fighters jungle or the tank jungle most of the time. So it's very understandable. But then again, this kind of meta where the XP laners are signing quite a lot, and dare I say, it's also a meta that Mirio is comfortable on. Those kind of heroes, the Lapu Lapus, the Yuzongs, the Paquitos, he is so comfortable on those heroes as well. But for Soltak Pol too, he is no different. He's gonna be able to use those if push come to shove as well. But you know what? Armageddon, they are well equipped to go play out onto the utility jungle than the assassin jungles most of the time, because Josie here, I don't think he really wanna go for the assassin most of the times, because the assassin the only assassin that I have seen him using has to be the Hayabusa, if you do not count the Suyo. But we'll never know what they'll be getting, because they can ban out the assassins from the hands of respect, and this is what they are exactly doing right now, because respect 20 has to be respected most of the time, because he literally can carry with that hero as well. So yeah, the first pick is going to be coming through for Armageddon, and I'm not surprised to see that the Lapu Lapu is appearing right now.
Yeah, the Lapu Lapu is actually really strong. We talked about it, right? The top three
Yep.
heroes into the EXP lane, the Uranus, the Lapu Lapu, and somewhat there's a contest between the R Lord, between the Ryuzong. At the same power, we would say, but there's also the 4V is actually still strong out there. So it's gonna be what the team wants at this point, but out here team IGN definitely wants the Garud Kacha as well as the Hayabusa. You mentioned about the Hayabusa for Josie, and they do not want to give it to him, so he might have
Mm,
to just revert back to the tanky junglers, the sustainable ones, the utility one.
mhm.
So will they go for a support here? The Rafaela is still open, so is the Rafaela
Oh.
still viable choice for Armageddon Esports, Zevo?
Oh, well, yeah, Rafaela would work really good because apart from her healing, her passive has been very useful for the teams where, you get the most reliable roll out. Even if you take it out, you still have the chance to respawn them back. And Labu, he works really well with support healers. The Florian is still a good option for their roam as well. So definitely, if they already picked up the Hayabusa, so if they're going for a utility kind of jungle, then they can
Mhm.
certainly go for a support altogether, which will help them bind the whole team. But oh well, we got a fish out here though.
Yeah.
Yep, the fish is out of the water, and it's gonna be actually the Kadita making an appearance from the side of Team Armageddon Esports. And I also like the fact they got the grandeur away from the hands of Aaron the creator. So he might just have to take a different hero. So I think that's a good steal as well. So they're really thinking their draft throughout here, Debbie.
I mean, it's actually very true to say that Ito might want to deny Aaron, the creator, the grandeur, but he is able to perform so well under the grandeur, so they are the one actually trying to prioritize the grandeur more than any kind of heroes. But you know what I like about the face pick here? I mean, the Kadita pick here. It's so good against heroes like the Hayabusa, right? Because it cannot be instantly bursted out. You have a way, lots of way to survive. You does have the rough ways to walk away as well most of the time, and it's so highly pressure onto the kill parts, the killing parts. So I think for Ryota here, he's gonna be camping quite a lot, and the spacing has to be created most of the time by his team as well. But a signature pick onto the hands of Mirio here, the forwards will be appearing as of now. So the forward is gonna be firing in lane against the Lapu Lapu, which is a matchup I haven't seen before, but it's gonna be heroes to two heroes based on going for team fights. So it's definitely gonna be a dead land into the XP.
Yeah, I mean, I did say that the 4 years is still an option out there, so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a safe choice to go for, right? At this point, you do not want to risk it too much with other heroes. The dragon, yes, it does work, but still, the Lapu Lapu is much stronger at this point. Even after getting a slight adjustment, the Lapu Lapu is still performing as it has been for the longest while. The damage reduction did not do
Mm-hmm.
much, but at this point, they're kind of targeting the two bans already, whereas the jungle being taken away, two strong picks, two utility heroes from the side of team IGN are actually banned. So you do have to get a mage out here. So what is a good option? The Farsa is a very easy target for this
Oh,
Khadija. So maybe the Novaria can work, for which I have seen him using that hero. So it can give a lot of vision, right? And oh,
Oh
it's
my
actually the Novaria
goodness.
actually. So I
okay.
think, yeah, I think that's a good, safer choice actually as well at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, certainly. She has a range. She has the vision up as well, and her hitbox would be actually pretty good for the AOG from Gatot Kacha altogether, and same with Phobius as well. So overall, the Navaria works out really well.
More
And
than
I
we anticipated
do
out.
love.
The Zunga are just knocked down quite a lot. There's a very limited choice for Mr. Josie right now, and I'm not sure what is gonna be good against a good hero. Oh, Roger! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay, okay.
Hmm.
I'm liking this, man. I'm liking the Roger. But he's gonna be needing a lot of peel potential, right? He's gonna need a lot of farm and do the strange kind of rotation that every Roger jungler user will usually go for. So I think it's gonna be very challenging to start the list. But okay, the Hilda already on top of that. So there's a lot of early game pressure coming out for the side of our Megadon.
Yeah, and a lot of actually, it's going to be a lot of problem for this Hayabusa as well, with the Hilda actually being active around the map. Yes, they do have the good Kacha, but it's pretty one-dimensional. It cannot you cannot just CC all the team at the same time unless you get your AOG. Yes, you do have the taunt, but it's pretty difficult to actually mark those mobile heroes. So far, looking at the drafts, Zevo, what do you think? Both the teams are actually going for a really strong draft from the mid to late game. Yes, some of the heroes are early game, but in this game, it's already started. So why don't you guys take it away?
Thank you so much, Shinru, for being with us. We will, get back to you when the game ends. But yeah, overall, I love the draft of both the teams. They have quite the balance all together. They have the aggression from the Hilda and the Phobias all together. And then a Granger and a Herod, a classic matchup, I would say, for
Mhm.
both the sides. And I actually was expecting a Herod because they're was a Novaria altogether, so they lacked a bit of that magic damage. So Herod would be a really good option for them altogether. So yeah, overall the draft is really, really to my liking for both the teams, Debbie. What about you though?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure for the goal as well. Both of the teams are, they have actually, I would think that they have an equally balanced lineup. So we'll never be able to predict who's going to be having the greater chance in the early game. But then again, it depends down onto the first hurdle because it's gonna be so important for the Hayabusa for respect to get the first hurdle to have the snowball going so that he will be used to try to take down all the backlines, especially the Granger. So that has to be it. But then again, the better setup can be actually done for the side of IGN. Again, we'll never know because of the presence of the Hilda. The Hayabusa is not gonna be having that much of a great time. But actually, now that I think about it, Armageddon does lack a little bit of CCs that they wanna go for, but that's gonna be made up by the Kadita. But most of the time, the Kadita is used to try to ambush to not go for team fights. So it comes down to the mechanism and the decision makings and the peak of potentials of all the members, all the players, especially the XP laners, because this is a game where the objective is going to be shining much, much better. So the XP laners who carries a lot of burden on their shoulders this time around, they have to be performing to the top notch to be able to get those snowball, to get those objectives.
Exactly. So, for Armageddon, instead of focusing on the team fights, you would want to go for the objectives more, because if we compare both the draft, they are quite well matched. But as you said, right, Armageddon, they kind of lack the solid CC that they need, and IGN, they make up for those CC from the Gatot Kacha and the
Mhm.
phobias altogether. So it would be hard for Armageddon to go around all those CCs, especially when the phobias is having his Infernal Pursuit altogether, which will quite hinder the performance of the whole team fight. So until and unless you are ready or you desperately need to win a team fight, I don't think you should really go for any dive, and certainly they should be a bit more careful. What I'm
Mhm.
most curious about is the Lapu Lapu and the Phobias matchup, because we don't know which one of them would come out
Yeah.
to the top. But book wise though, book wise, I would say Phobias would be a bit much of an advantage. He would have a bit of advantage against Alabo.
Yeah, definitely that has to be. But microsets, it's just solely dependent on it as well. But if you focus onto the rotation that's been made by Josie here onto the side of Armageddon, he's able to get and steal out onto that lizard right now. So if he is able to get onto his side as well, they're gonna be having the greater time trying to get the levels that he required for the turtle. But a lot of aggression coming out from Fame onto this Hilda, and this is what you usually want to do when you are on a Hilda against any kind of assassins lineup. So definitely something and a good move that's coming out from him as well. But the objective is already at the first turtle, which is going to be so important for both teams already up, and the fights are going to be set
Oh
in.
my goodness.
Oh
First blood,
wow!
and burst it out right down to the core from the side of Team Armageddon, obviously. And Fame, he would be getting out as well. But oh my goodness, that was a really beautiful rough wave combo from Kanita. I mean, the Petrify, it just hit,
Mhm.
Hayabusa, which I don't think he saw that coming at all towards
Yeah.
him. He was probably thinking he could deflect all of it,
Mhm.
but since there was, a hindrance from the Lapu Lapu altogether, it was just not in time for him to get away with his Squad Shadow.
Yeah, that was so perfect. An instant burst coming through from the Kadita. This is the priority of the Kadita, right? When you have a Kadita and you have level 4, even without any items, you are able to pick off any kind of squishies most of the time, and that has to be a game for Armageddon. Yes, they did lose out onto their members as well, but they have one kills onto their hands, and it's actually Armageddon who did fall out. But a roamer for a turtle and a jungler is definitely something of a trait that you really want to go for. But bot lane though.
Oh yeah, bot lane AOG connecting perfectly
Oh,
to two people. Aaron falls down as well. Fame forced to lose
oh,
his
oh.
life once again, but oh, respect. Just bursted down Roger all together there. And I do love that Hilda is just diving without caring about her life, because her teammates is there to help her back. And she's pretty aggressive, which is pretty good. But
Mhm.
Ito, he might be in danger though.
Yeah, that's a lot, but look at that. Respect taken down Ito with that Sonata's able to connect onto the jungle for the side of Izzy, and that's gonna be a perfect kill that they have to find. And Armageddon just trying to be aggressive as much as possible into the early game, and I think this is what they are looking for when they were picking up the Kadita as well as the Hilda together onto the mid side. So a lot of aggression, a lot of pressure coming in, and Izzy, and they were able to respond with one kills onto Josie, but still, Armageddon, they still have a better setup for this turtle.
Turtle, Josie takes it once again, but a fight is there. Zozen behind the back line, still going with his pursuit, but oh
Oh!
my goodness, Lapu Lapu just got taken down. Aaron the Creator won't be safe as well. Respect in
Game?
the hands of Hilda. Will he be getting away? No,
Oh.
Ryota gets the double in his hands with that Kadita. Once again, Meteor though trying his best with the pursuit, going for Ryota, but no, he has his escape route. He does escape it pretty well, and of course, the score has been even out, but still, turtle in the hands, so definitely a win for Armageddon right there.
This is very, very dangerous for IGN right now because this is a Hayabusa jungle that they are having against a Roser jungle. Level 2 behind is something that you do not want to do on a Hayabusa because the Roser scales so much better than the Hayabusa again since the start of the mid lane. So when he started having for the kiting, going for the kiting potentials as well, he will be having a greater time, but top lane Soltakbo will be able to get the first turret of the game, and this is gonna be again all over the map for Armageddon right now, and the only way that IGN can respond to this is if they play for, a run right now. But look at it.
Once again, right, a burst of wave coming in from Ryota, but yeah, Navaria does escape though. She did use her Purify, which is kind of bad for her because I don't think she needed to use that Purify. But I want to see the itemization because I just saw Ito get a Sky Piercer. I'm thinking if
Uh-huh.
he completed his Hunter Strike because it's pretty early, but yeah, he did.
It didn't.
Well, that is
Ooh.
really quick farming, I would say, for Granger, right?
Yeah, he did get one kill against the jungler, of course, absolutely a good one. So yeah, this is what you have when you, oh, look at that, never mind though, that's gonna be a kill up to, I mean, not up onto the bot lane here. Ito wasn't aware that IGN will not be contesting onto this turtle. The third time around is gonna be into the hands of the Roder as well, but look at that though, Mirio.
Rather, right? They would rather fight in a team fight, prioritize the team fight so that they are able to get any moment to shut them down. Mirio still going strong, Fame onto his way to burst down Mirio or certainly take them out, but Respect out here just with his quad shadow going around here and there, poking, right? But oh, who is that in the back lines? That is a Lapu Lapu going all together. Respect gets taken down once again. Rough waves popped out, but none used. Josie gets taken down. Meteor does get taken down as well. But oh my goodness, that is a 3-4-2 trade coming in. So IGN, they are winning out the team fight as we expected out here because the game is heading on to the mid phases, and certainly Armageddon, their nightmare is about to start.
Yeah, this is something that they shouldn't do. They shouldn't give away anything to the hands of IZ, and especially into the hands of Aaron the Creator. So right now, I think they are, they have to step back just a little bit because they did lose out onto the members as well, and you do not really want to do that when you have a Granger. You want to stack up two. That is already enough when you have just one kills onto your hands. So Ito, being the almost always the aggressive goal winner that he is, I think this time around he has to chill out just a little bit to try to not die as much as possible so that he'll be able to stack up because he's the win condition for the team. But we'll never forget that Ryota is also able to get a lot of kill. Oh no, what was that? Bot lane.
Uh, Hilda is definitely being too much for a Hayabusa, but Mirio in front of Kadita, no way he stood a chance there. The burst damage was too much, and IGN, they seem like they might be starting to fall behind and losing their jungler right when the Lord is there. Not a great time for them, but still a lot of fight happening still though. Lapu
Oh,
Lapu going for Zoes and out here pulse out the revitalize, but no, he will be taken down as well. 5 versus 4 right around the Lord, which means IGN they won't be contesting for it as well.
yeah, this is, oh my goodness, a lot of kill pressure coming up on the side of Armageddon, and they do have a lot of scaling heroes again, so this is gonna be dire for the side of IZN, man, and they shouldn't try to get for the fights, they shouldn't be, they shouldn't, they should play actually for Aaron the Creator to try to get him, give him all the minions, all the gold that he needed, because only the Heretics can be actually used to give out any kind of pressure into the hands of Armageddon, because if we look at the level also, he's just one level behind, so it can be caught up most of the time. But now it's gonna be very very crucial because the Lord is gonna be marching out onto the bot lane, and the minions are gonna be staying perfectly well. They might be able to get out the mid lane turret as well, but yeah, we'll never know what is gonna be happening because look at that.
Yep, certainly look at that. Once again, an AOG and an engage coming in. Zozi gets
Oh,
down in the House of Respect all together. And Respect gets taken out a 1-for-1 trade, right? Zozen, though he has to go back, he can't really fight. He is on his way. Oh, the Death Sonata. One more hit and he could have been down, but yes. IGN, they are looking quite in a pickle because Armageddon, they might be looking to end the game, but still there is still a lot of time for them to defend the base altogether, but they would be losing 2 of their inhibitors out still.
yeah, that's yeah. This is very bad. Actually, very bad for IZ, and they did lose out their around the crater very early on just because of the burst coming out from Ryota. Man, the Kadita, he's on a 503 streak, and he's been on a killing spree right now, and was able to get any kills, any important kills. He's been able to pick up respect. He's been able to pick up around the creator most of the time, and that is definitely gonna be their win con for Armageddon, and they have to play this right actually. So. They shouldn't try to throw like the Armageddon's signature game style. They always throw when there's a lead that they have. So they shouldn't be doing that. And this time around it's looking very, very good because they are very disciplined in the way they are playing. They are trying to get all the important fights only and not unnecessary fights. And this is gonna be starting a chaos for the side of IZN.
Certainly a more chaotic situation for IGN because they have to defend the base. They have to find a way to get out Armageddon altogether.
Oh,
A beautiful AOG connected by 2 people. And Zozen, though he won't be escaping, he gets taken down in the hands of a Granger, followed up by Mirio. Lapu Lapu will lose his life out there, but a double kill for Ito and a triple kill might be going for a Maniac because that is a very easy one. And a whole team wipeout with the first match in the hands of Team Armageddon.
oh my goodness, what was that? Ito, man. With all the things that he ate this game, of course, I was able to get the medic, and I was actually, surprised to see him able to survive all of those onslaughts coming out from the side of IGN. It was unmovable at one point, but he was actually very, very freely hitting. So, what are your thoughts, Sinryu?
Yeah, you know, it seemed like Team Armageddon Esports are actually the kryptonite for IGN in this game, right? They
Yeah.
lost their inhibitor turrets in almost 10th minute of the game, so that's really quick to lose a lot of map space. I would say both the junglers really had a bit hard time to actually farm up, to actually get a lot getting done. You can
Mhm.
see already the KDA, right? Josie actually not getting a single kill, so he actually was a bit struggling, I would say, in the map, but it was definitely Ryota actually pulling off, even bursting down Mirio onto that Povius. So I was really surprised by that. And